What's going on, guys? First, welcome to my very first Coach's Corner. I'm excited about this. I get questions all the time, and there's a pattern that I've now established, which is a lot of kids and coaches are asking the exact same question. So the way to help make this easier on myself and for all you guys is Coach's Corner is basically a way for me to answer the questions that are most popular or the most relevant at that time. First question I got was, I'm a junior and I really want to jump far next year. What training should I do this summer? So I replied back and asked him, what sports are you in? And he said, just track. That's all he does, which makes this answer very easy. You don't want to do too much over the summertime because you're going to end up burning yourself out because you want to have your body in its peak shape by the end of next year. If you just finished track or you're finishing up, the goal is to take a break. Take a few weeks off. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks will not hurt you. It'll actually get rid of all those aches and pains you have to help fully recover. Once you finish those 4 to 6 weeks, then you want to get back into basic conditioning, basic training. Now, when I say conditioning, it doesn't necessarily mean running. The summer should be set up to where it's a track-inspired boot camp. When you're doing lunges, you're working on your hip mobility, your flexibility, pull-ups, weight training, all of your weaknesses, you want to try to work on those parts of it. When the fall comes around, then you can start incorporating, some jump training, start incorporating more explosive weight training, and add in some conditioning. So you can do some running. No spikes in the winter or fall for high school athletes. Take your time, allow your body to just gradually develop and enhance its ability. Then in the winter, if you choose to do an all-comer season or winter season, then you can start tapering a little bit sooner with, specific drills, things like that. I would suggest to keep it simple. And if you do any all-comer stuff, you only do 1 or 2 in the off season because this year is really important and specific for your future. So don't do too much. Keep it simple. And then once you get into your season, understand and listen to your body. Your body will tell you, I'm sore. I'm tired. When you have trained from the summer all the way up until your senior season, your body is strong. It's developed. It understands what's supposed to happen. It's okay to take a day or 2 off here and there because you've already put the base and the work in prior to that year. So to answer your question, the summertime, if you do anything, first take a break. Your actual workout is to rest. The next workout would be to do that track-inspired boot camp with lunges and things like that. And I'll go into detail later on with what drills and things you should be doing over the summertime. The next question was, I jumped 47 feet from a 6-step approach. How far should I jump from a full step approach? I fell into this exact same situation. My best 10-step approach is 50 feet, and I assumed I should be jumping 56, 58 feet. But those numbers don't really convert. The situation comes down to this. When you are running from a short approach, you have less speeds, which means you have more time to create the power you need to create. When you jump from a full approach, you have less time. It comes down to, are you efficient enough and effective enough to create that same amount of power in a shorter amount of time? The answer is, I don't know. You have to actually put yourself in that environment. So you may jump, 47, 48 feet from a short step approach. That's great. But you're a professional at the short step approaches. But you're still a novice or beginner at the longer distances. The goal is to work your way into the longer distances and work on that overspeed jumping to allow your body to adapt to that. Then you'll see your actual improvement. But long story short, there is no actual conversion for how far you should jump when you increase the speeds. The last question I got over the last month was, I can't get my step phase right. What am I doing wrong? This jumper in particular first had on the wrong shoes. He had on sprint shoes. Sprint shoes angle your feet for sprints. Triple jump and long jump and high jump are all based off of landing flat foot upon takeoff. So when you land in sprint spikes, your foot isn't angled correctly, and that causes certain things. Also, most beginners tend to jump too high. The focus is, for beginners, jump between 6 to 8 inches off the ground to allow yourself to hit positions of your second phase. Once you understand that concept of trying to jump out and flatter, you'll be in a very good position. The best way to put it is the analogy I always say: if you have a rock and you throw the rock high and far, it's going to plunk into the water if you throw it into a lake. If you have that same rock and throw it lower and have it with speed and kind of skip the water, it's going to skip, essentially triple jumping. So the goal is, you got to make yourself that rock, bring your speed, and stay lower to the ground. Then use those forces to aid into your second part of your jump. On my videos, I have a hop to step drill and a hop to jump drill. Focus on those, look at those videos, and that'll help you enhance your ability in the first two phases. But there's no problem with setting up a very short board, try to cover 10, 12 feet, and then the remaining distance will be into the pit. That'll help you guys get into that good positions for your second phase. Then you'll be able to combine those with all three phases of your jump and have a successful time. Next week, I'll have more questions answered. Send me an email at info@KeinanBriggs.com with your questions.